So this is what happens when you party all night and you're trying to fix your car. So I am back and we have the white S2000 back over here. It's getting a valve lash done, as you can see. We're also going to be replacing these two hoses down here, as well as the valve cover gasket. And I wanted to do some quick videos over here. I'll talk a little bit more next door so I'm not interrupting anybody, but we do a lot of routine maintenance. A lot of people don't realize that. We have, right now on this side, 2 other cars that are getting routine maintenance done. I'll be back. Give me 1 second. Someone needs me. So we have this G37 that we had to take care of some coolant leaks. We had to do one of the oxygen sensors. We had to do the fuel. We had to diagnose the fuel gauge. It wasn't working correctly. This car actually has like 2 sending units. It's kind of weird. So we got the fuel sending unit working again. And then if I walk up here, we're doing some more maintenance here. Cleaning, the customer wanted the air filter cleaned, and we just did the front brakes. So front brakes are all done and fresh, and now I'm gonna let everybody go back to work and let them turn their music back on, and I'll do a little more talking next door. Give me 1 second. So I just wanted to talk really quickly and briefly, and I'm gonna try to get some, we're gonna get some random stuff in this video here. We're gonna go kind of get away from the dyno tuning stuff, get away from the podcast stuff. But one of the things, yeah, too, people don't realize, we do a lot of routine maintenance. It doesn't matter on the car, the year, the make, or the model. We've had some crazy stuff in here where, you know, there was an older, I think Ford Falcon it was, where the guy wanted the whole rear end harness, so the tail lights, he wanted it all redone. I don't specifically know the year, but we do a lot of stuff. The biggest thing too with routine maintenance is it's really not that fun to look into or document, like, you know, hey, there's a valve lash. I am going to try, and I've been telling my techs more so to come and get me when there's something that will help you guys. So if they have a tip or suggestion to pull me aside, give or take how busy I am, and I'm going to document that. There you go. Excuse me. But the big thing too with routine maintenance that I really wanted to say, and I wanted to do it quickly here, was, you know, routine maintenance is one of those things that it gets put on the back burner. It gets, you know, I understand money could be tight at times, but what you got to remember is if you do the proper routine maintenance when your scheduled time is set, you're gonna save yourself a lot more money in the long run. You know, case in point, we can go in the crazy spectrum, but let's just say a timing belt or timing chain. You know, let's say at 90,000 miles, you're supposed to get your timing belt or timing chain replaced. And you're at 105,000 miles, and hey, the car sounds good, and everything seems fine. So you just keep going and going and going, and until one day, your timing belt or timing chain either slips a tooth, or, you know, the timing belt snaps. And then in that case, you might have to replace the whole engine. And that's just what I mean about saving money and, you know, saving money in the long run. And we can go and say something little too. We've seen guys that they let their brakes get so bad. Not only now do you need brake pads and rotors, we've actually seen it where the pad gets so worn down, the caliper is actually on the rotor. So now you need calipers. So do your maintenance, stay on top of it. And we have all the guides here. So if you're looking to have your maintenance done, or you're you know, I don't know what I should get done, I got 70,000 miles on this car, contact us. We'll help you out. So as we continue this routine maintenance week, we're actually doing something with the headlight now because it's not working. Don't look at his hands. They've been that dirty for a couple of days. We don't have soap in our bathrooms. That is a lie. We do have soap. Actually, you have 2 bottles of soap that I'm looking at right now. Clean your hands before a video.
You want me to redo it?
No. So we're doing an intercooler. I think he's going back to the stock intercooler. And we're removing some of the exhaust. So beautiful car though. A little bit different than what you guys are used to seeing. Let me go to the next one. We have this Civic. Now if you listen really, really close, I'm going to be quiet. Listen. Listen. Hold on, listen. He's not turning on the faucet now. He's going to wash. He's washing his hands just because I gave him crap about it. No, we do actually. We try to always keep our hands clean because we have to get in and out of cars and whatnot. So I'm just, giving him some shit. So we got this car that came in. As far as I know, it was purchased from his neighbor, and he has no clue about like anything going on with it. So it's here. We're gonna do a once over on it. It's gonna go on the dyno after we do the once over and figure out what it needs. And then if we go over here to the S2000, valve cover is back on, new gasket, new spark plugs are in, the valve lash was done and finished. And I'm gonna go back in really quick. I know we just had a customer walk in, so I'm gonna make sure that nobody needs me. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of story. So we're inside and we're coating stuff. I don't know what we're doing here. Trying to record and not actually get it in his face. That's what she said. So we're gonna see if we can actually coat it with our scanner or if it has to go with the BMW. At times our scanner won't be able to do everything. It is a nice scanner, but it's not a dealer type level scanner. So we'll see if we can get lucky on it. And if we can, perfect. If not, I think we actually printed out some literature of what has to happen. That will help the customer out in that sense. We'll see. If I get an update here shortly, I'll come back and see if we were able to do it. And if not, I don't know when I'm releasing this video, so if I don't release it, I'll get an update if anybody's really interested in coating the headlights. But it's been a lot of routine maintenance in this video. So I am back covering this one. This was just to keep the rain out, of course. Don't mind the intro. We found a bunch of stuff wrong with the car. We're gonna update the customer. One of the things was the timing belt was just way too loose. We don't want that much slack on something like this. There was some other notes too. It was has one of those tiny little fuel filters. So those are, it's gonna be dark. I knew it would be dark. Those are a big no-no. The small little tiny filters. They clog up very easily. And it's just something that you don't want on your car and you don't want happening. There was some other stuff too. The oil drain line for the turbo, you can see how it's extra long, and we want to get that so it's not going upwards. So little stuff like that we can fix and take care of. We'll just contact the customer and let him know. This intercooler piping, I'm not a huge fan of it. You can see how low it sits. Looks like it's just a straight U-bend, not cut and welded. It's probably just couplered on. So we'll address that. We'll get into that as well. And I think besides that and the BMW up there, we got some other stuff rolling in and rolling out, and I don't know what else we're covering here, but I will be back. I'll figure all that out, and I'll figure out where I am on my time frame on my videos. So I am back on the dyno, and this is where I spend a lot of my time. And what I just wanted to more so document, well, besides it being another white S2000, and I'll hop out here in a second. Seat is definitely tight, so hopping in and out is definitely it's tight. But what I wanted to say was, what I've been trying to more so showcase you guys or show is that we do it all, and it's just not one thing or the other. A lot of people are still shocked when they hear us say we do routine maintenance, or we didn't know that you can get that part and ship it. So we have a full team. Everybody has their own job here. That's the other thing too.
a lot of people, because they watch these videos, they call us and they want to talk to me. As I said before, and I'll say it again, I am not a boss that just sits up at his desk and makes videos. Sorry. So with that being said, I'll hop out really quick. I'll show you guys the setup. We got some other stuff going on next door too. I'll be back. So here's the setup. It is supercharged, of course, in case you could not tell. It is a Science of Speed kit, which we do sell. So if you're looking for one, we also sell the base maps and do e-tuning on these too, depending on what ECU you're on, so you can contact us. I am at a point right now, it is about 3 to 4 pounds of boost shy where it should be, so I don't know if we have a boost leak that we're fighting. Gonna look into that, and I got some other cars on the other side that I will go take a video really quick and show you guys what we got going on. And I think we're gonna wrap this one up because we're getting close to where I would like to be with my time on these videos. So we are down a little power. And we're down boost, so he's got something going on. The other thing I will mention, he's on a stock header, which is, you know, I've seen it before, and I don't know if the companies that sell these supercharger kits are trying to come up with like more so a budget-friendly type kit, but I've also heard another customer recently tell us how he's going to get a supercharger, but was told he doesn't need a header. And yes, you're correct. You don't need a header, but if you're going to throw something on it that's, of course, for performance, why would you keep a stock header if it's going to restrict it? The other thing, too, that I noticed, and I don't know if it correlates to it, whatever, the air fuels are pretty steady, but every now and then they like to jump a little bit. And if you watch my last videos and whatnot, they got the injector adapters on them. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see them. Oh, I don't know if anything is going on with that, but it's one of those things. It's the, you know, what if that is causing something? This is one of the things where this is why I tell people, you know, injector adapters, don't run them. I don't recommend them. Could be something else going on with the air fuels a little bit, making it a slightly erratic. I'm not sure, but we have that into the equation now, which is never good.